you've been with Tone It Up. Like Tone It Up is so much a part of your identity. And then you launched the podcast, you launched your own brand, or like your own brand sort of came to the surface. What has that been like? And have you felt like a resistance to starting those new endeavors and to really stepping into this new version of you?
Yeah. So I think it's hard for anybody that if they follow you for something. Okay, this is actually a really good comparison. I've never done this before. I'm sure other people have, but Rachel from Friends. How can you possibly see Jennifer Aniston as anything else?
It's so true.
And
I've
it's
thought about
hard.
I see her as smart water.
I see her as a Vino.
Vino, I was going to say Vino. I actually see her as smart water.
But in every other TV show or movie, you see her as Rachel from Friends.
And then her and Brad. It's like, it's haunting her in her entire life. And although it's the best thing that she's ever done, she's allowed to have her own identity as Jennifer Aniston. She's allowed to do other things in her career that she's really proud of. And it doesn't take away from her experience on Friends. And she's allowed to be different and have different viewpoints and play new character on the morning show. And so I think it's up to the community that follows her and the fans and people that love her to honor those new chapters and not ask her, but what about this? Because it's not like those things don't exist to her.
Totally.
And it's not that that's not a big part of her identity. And so that's the only comparison that I can come up with.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because I say this because I see her as Rachel from Friends. So the only reson why I'm using that comparison is because I remember the cover of OK Magazine of her and Brad. Like I completely get it.
Did he have a hat on? Or like a
oh, I know what you're talking about, like the little beret thing.
Yes.
The little weird paper boy thing.
That was another one.
That was different. Yes. I think that was another one. I have that also cataloged in my brain. And so I think it's really cool what she's done. And I think for Tone It Up, Karina and I are individuals. We are K&K, but we're also really unique and we're our own people and we have our own passions. And we're not the same people that we were 10 years ago. We are in a certain way. We have the same exact heart. We have the same body that we're living in. And we have that same friendship and bond. But it's really hard to say, oh, I'm going to do this now without, like, my biggest fear is that identity of where someone says, but you're only Toned It Up. And I have gotten that feedback. I would say it's like 1% where when I announced that I was doing a podcast, because I have that calling. I really want to talk to women.
Yes.
I really want to share amazing stories from other women with women. And I announced it and someone said, just stick to fitness. And then underneath that was, I don't know what she's doing. And then the next person that replied, said, what does she think that she's doing? Or, it was the whole conversation. And I read it and it hurt. Like, how can reading that not get to you? And then you start thinking, oh, I should just stick to squats, right? I'm not anything beyond this. That's my only thing. And, should Jennifer Aniston have just stopped at Friends and just did nothing else the rest of her life because she wasn't worthy of anything else. And so doing anything on your own, whether it's outside, going back to motherhood, like moms are allowed to be something else other than just being a mom. And it's not just being a mom. Like being a mom is like the best role I've ever had, the biggest role I've ever had. And Brian actually, last night we did a date night. He's like, what's your most favorite part about being a mom? And I was like, whoa. And I said, it is the biggest responsibility I've ever had. And that's my favorite part. Like knowing that I have the greatest impact on someone of just being a nice human, like raising a nice human. When she gives someone a kiss on the hand or on the cheek, I'm like, yes, I did a good job. And so all women, you're not stuck. You don't have to just be one thing. If you feel the pressure from everyone around you to be that same person and you are so afraid to say, hey, I have this new passion or I have this new thing that I want to pursue or I've been thinking about this, that fear of what people will say, because they will say it. I got it too. I literally, if anyone is getting any feedback like that, just, you can text me. I have a text phone number and I will let you know that you are allowed to pursue anything that you want. You're allowed to try. If you don't try something new, you have no idea if you like something. And so am I just fitness? No, but it's who I am at the core. And I love that part about me. But I also love branding. I love being a mom. I love arts and crafts. Like I love so many, and equally to fitness. But I decided in college to do art classes as my minor, or actually not even my minor. That was a lie. My art teachers were like, you need to take a couple more courses. But like I chose a couple business courses. Yes. I like sprinkled it through. And so I would call it more like a secondary concentration. But like I chose fitness, but I could have gone the other way. And then what if I was only known for that? But I could talk about identity forever.
Yeah, it's huge.
And also the projection.
Yes, 100%.
But I'm sure every single woman wants to be known for, and we talked about this recently, you have the multidimensionality of who we are. And so to see you actually stepping into other parts of who you are and showing a different like side of the diamond, people are like, I think the core feeling is, man, I wish I could do that. You know, but it comes out as, what is she doing?
Thank you so much for tuning in to Morning Microdose by Almost 30.
We hope you enjoyed waking up.
As always, we encourage you to take what resonates and leave the rest. If you enjoyed this trip, tune into the full episode on the Almost 30 podcast. All episode information can be found in the show notes.
Make sure to subscribe, and if this becomes a part of your morning routine, be sure to share it with a friend. We have new inspiring doses Monday through Friday. Follow us on Instagram at Morning Microdose, and follow Almost 30 at Almost 30 Podcast.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you in the vortex.